2 XKO patch notes, buffs for Blitzcrank, Jinx, and then nerfs for Arya, Braum, Vi, Ekko, and adjustments for Illaoi and Warwick, and then all the new cosmetics bundles, everything going on. Akali's coming out, which is pretty dope. They showed off all the stuff for that. They're adding local duos to online play, so if you and your homie at your house, you can play duos online. You can't play ranked with this, so that way you can't invite Sonic Fox over to your house to boost you to Challenger, but you can play local duos at your house. Now, system changes. This is the juice. Handshake tag. So when you tag to your other character, has 3 frames of recovery when an assist does not make contact with the opponent. I.e., if you're not putting them in block stun or hit stun, your tag has 3 frames of recovery. This is a nerf to freestyle because, you know, double tagging and like forcing scrambles now is more likely to put you in a more disadvantageous position, and also means that if you're gonna like set someone up for a bait in neutral with a tag, you have to like be a little bit more preemptive. So you don't have to worry about like everybody freestyle tagging 9 times and just being able to force, even if their assist is like behind you and they whiff. And you may be like, well, they could just parry, right? As an option. You can no longer perform parry after handshake tagging for 15 frames. I think this needed to go. Push block into tag and just like tagging into parrying stuff. Or even more egregious was like doing assist in neutral, whiffing. I try to hit your assist, you tag and you parry me for trying to punish your assist. That just feels so bad, you know? It's like, oh, dude, you whiff an assist and then now you get a full combo on me because I tried to punish him. This needed to go. Limit Strike now builds 20 meter instead of 40. So you build half the bar on Limit Strike. This is a big nerf to characters who want to loop supers and characters who are spending level 1s constantly, and nerf the amount of super meter gained from performing long combos and performing certain actions. So retreating guard went from 5 to 4, parry went from 10 to 6, parry physical went from 5 to 0. This won't matter too much probably in terms of the physical parry, but the retreating guard one is pretty big, and I think the parry projectile one will matter. Combo length stuff, I think this will probably only be impactful for like the Arya stuff and like maybe specific things, but generally I don't think it's going to be probably too insane. Like people are not doing these types of long combos unless they're killing you anyway. They're not doing really long combos if it's not going to kill you. They're doing short combos in a Limit Strike into Oki. You know, break meter accumulates faster while in combos. Again, same kind of thing where I think you're going to want to do shorter combos that give you Limit Strike into meter regeneration and you're chilling. You can't break while getting hit by a super. You can't break during a super startup. You can break while being hit by an attack that is not a super. If you're like getting super tagged and Yasuo is doing stance H, you can break that now probably, right? Air counter hits no longer being a minor reaction is nice for characters who use minor reactions a lot. Jinx, Caitlyn. Input adjustments. This one is so nice. Rolls are no longer performed by holding down back or down forward. Rolls are performed by holding directly away from the opponent or up and away from the opponent. Rolls will now be more consistent to perform, and you can hold down back or down forward on wake up to block. It's just like an easier quality of life thing for you to just not worry about rolling on accident. So I think a lot of people are very happy about that. They also fixed this, which I think is like really nice. A bunch of bug fixes that are really nice. What you guys care about is this, right? Big changes to Akali this patch. She's in the game now and she's perfect. All right, no major changes, but we're pulling back some of the power from wild players. Also, I've seen a lot of people saying Arya didn't get nerfed at all in this patch, and it's like crazy because of how good she is. The game has less meter overall, and they nerfed her meter gain. A lot of her power comes from Orb Super and Orb Super conversions. So having less resources in the game, I think is a pretty big nerf to her, because otherwise she just does Orb Super constantly. I think you will notice more often this character has to convert in different ways. S2 hit stop and block stun is reduced. The game takes less time when you're doing it, which is nice. The hitbox size and launch distance on second hit has been reduced so that when you like push block it and stuff, like it's not annoying to poke into it and stuff. Meter gain on final has also been decreased. So a little less meter, and there's also less meter in the game for her. I think this character will obviously still be very good. The meter changes are a nerf for her more than some other characters. She'll probably be the best character in this patch is my guess, but the crank. Blitzcrank is getting buff via hurtbox adjustments to rocket grab and rocket punch, and we saw a positive impact with their previous hurtbox adjustments, so we expect these tune-ups to do the same. So 2H has an additional hitbox at the shoulder and has an additional hitbox on the fist, so it more consistently combos and anti-airs and stuff. The bigger change probably is this one, which is down S1, anti-air hook, is now disjointed, which will let Blitzcrank grab champions in the air performing aerial moves more easily. They want this to be like, if you know they're gonna jump, this shit's gonna hit them. Rocket Punch is now immune to projectiles. This is because sometimes you would punch the projectiles and they get hit anyway. And back assist has 4 additional active frames, which is nice. This character will feel better in general, I think, in this patch, because the changes to the tags over and over and over, I think that's like a buff for Crank. And any of characters who have 7-frame jabs, I think they'll feel a lot better in this patch. And also this character is like pretty good, I think, anyway. Tag into parry is very good against this character also, and that's nerfed. I think a lot of people will probably like feel that this character is more impactful in this version and maybe explore a bit. This character's spooky. You get put in real 50-50s that just fucking kill you. Like, this character does a ton of damage and is very scary. Braum, it's easier to jump over as he performs the shield or the shield assist. This is a big deal because in general, one of his weaknesses is supposed to be hitting him behind. But you jump at him and he fucking is 9 feet tall. Like, he just takes up the whole screen. So Braum's collision is now shorter and thinner when performing shield. You know, you can jump over him and do down H in the air and just go cross up and whatever. Glacial fissures, S1 super startup invulnerability has been removed. Nice. But this character is still going to be good. The system changes are probably quite good for him. Caitlyn got a lot of stuff. I think this character is mucho buff this patch and will be very good. Comboing as Caitlyn and converting off stray hits will be more reliable, particularly with down H and her assist. She felt particularly stuck in the mud when performing normal, so we've improved her run momentum on attack so that she can poke more effectively and chase rolls adequately. She's still not an expert at it, but it'll feel more in line with the rest of the champions. So 2M knockback distance is reduced. 2H now sends opponents backwards when hitting cross up, so this will feel a little bit more consistent. Second hit of back heavy has been adjusted. It's bigger and does not hit as low, so you can like anti-air backflip a little bit easier. Bola's 10 more frames hit stun on counter hit and launches grounded opponents less high, so you can get grounded normals after, right? This will be a lot better for her combos. S2 super pushes opponents less on hit, so like the super connects with them and they stay closer, so you can combo off of them. It might nerf some combos because, you know, you have a specific setup before where they bounce away and then something happens, but whatever. But like it will help. Additional hitbox to her ult that catches opponents performing a low attack close. You could low profile it on accident. And performing aerial twist no longer disables the flip reaction, so performing S1 against a grounded opponent or using Bola no longer disables back heavy. Mid-air M hitbox has been lowered, so it hits easier. Her jump ins are a little bit better. Air H has more hit stun, so that you can do, oh shit, that's nice. And buffs to her assists. You always get the same reaction, grounded or airborne when you hit them, and it no longer has infinite hit stun on airborne assists. Her hit stun is also increased, right, which is pretty nice. They unified the reactions on that. Her H also pushes blocking opponents less far. Her roll passes through 1 frame faster, and they made some changes to help them help her go through big bodies better. You can cancel rifle shot into reload shot when they parried the bullet. This is a big deal. And she has dash momentum. So like, she has better pokes in neutral. Her assists got buffed. Her normals got buffed. Her combos got buffed. Her reactions are better because she can do back heavy off of like air counter hits, off of Bola as well. Everything about her is better. I think she's going to feel a lot better this version. Darius, they're like, he's chilling. 1 more active frame on his super assist. Ekko, a pretty important change to install again. Replay can no longer be used during an opponent's break. And the other part of it is his install ends when he gets hit by attacks, including break or get up attack. That was a huge advantage that install had, is while you were in after image, you could just rewind through the burst and then keep pressure. And they said, nah. This one is also pretty good, but I don't know if that'll matter that much. Mega Time Winder doing a soft knockdown instead of OTGable knockdown is a pretty big deal. This nerfs like a bunch of combos, right? Where before you would do the super time winder knockdown and then hard tag and then combo, those kinds of things are not there. Again, a bunch of other bug fixes. I think Ekko is still very good. He's still a really solid character. He'll be fine. Illaoi, they removed some pretty important stuff. So her tentacles do not go off if you knock someone down into them and they're invulnerable. This is huge because you would end your combo and then the tentacle would just go and just leave and hit nothing, right? But now the tentacle stays. It means our Oki will be even better with teams where you could like leave a tentacle and then combo off of stuff where you couldn't combo before. She will be very good. She can no longer grab opponents when she is tagged out. This is a big nerf because this is unblockables that she could do, right? It was very annoying. The other thing is her down S2 auto fires on tag out, i.e. you can no longer hold the move anymore. They are making held moves a lot weaker, I think, for this reason. It's a little degenerate. Also, S1 is no longer cancelable into command grab while tagged out. Big changes. Otherwise, like, they just fixed some bugs. No longer randomly spawns a big tentacle. Boo. Anyway, I think Illaoi will still be one of the best characters in the game. She's still very good. Jinx got a lot of really, really nice changes. I think she was like pretty not great in the last version. This is what I wanted buffed. I feel like her normals feel like shit to use. Rockets feel good. I feel like her chompers and her traps in general feel pretty good to use for the most part. I feel like her normals just feel like shit to fight with. So she has a 6-frame jab now. Nice change. Reduced pushback on block for her stand M because sometimes they would retreating guard and stand H would whiff, which is really annoying. Running M pushback on hit has been reduced because sometimes you do running M into running H and it would just not work and that feels bad. 2M has more block stun and now true block strings into the second hit of it, and mid-air M has more hit stun. Pushback on H on hit and block has been reduced, so LMH pushback is a little bit more consistent. Down forward heavy, her overhead has been increased. It pushes you back further, and it's also -9 on block instead of It's like really bad right now. They say her overhead is often risky. We want to encourage them to space the move so that you can space it out and be -9 and be safe. They made her back H anti-air invuln on frame 4. I don't know what it is right now, like frame 6 or something. Mid-air H hitbox expanded to hit higher. Mid-air down H hitbox expanded to hit higher. So you can like more consistently dive kick where it would just like under people and stuff. They also buffed the chompers. It launches them a little less high and a little less far, so you can combo them easier. Has more durability, so it no longer loses the Teemo darts, Ekko time winder, and will appropriately trade. The explosion after the timer no longer hits knockdown opponents. That would rarely cause combos to drop. Her throw also builds more meter. She can now cancel back S1 into Fishbone's hop. Forming aerial twist no longer disables flip reaction. This is a nice buff too. So her combos will be better, her neutral will be better, her normals will be better. I think she'll feel a lot better this patch. Teemo, they're like, he's fine. They made his ult hit a little closer to him. This character is very, very good in this patch, so I think he'll remain that way. Vi got a pretty big change. If you're holding S1 and you tag out, the move punches. This is a big nerf. I think the problem with this move is twofold. One, it's very cool in combos. It's very cool in setups. It's just too belligerent in neutral. You start the round with Vi, you backsway. You call your assist, you hold S1 and tag instantly. The neutral is you run full screen with a full huge combo damage starter just running behind you. It's a little too silly. It locks the screen. It just like rushes at you. It's like really belligerent. It just makes her neutral really, 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 really crazy. I think S1 needs to be better in some other way because I don't know when you're going to use full charge S1 now. It's probably only in combos when you have like another move to set up this move to like do stuff. And I really think this move's cool. So I wish if they were in block stun, you could hold it or something. Vi already has extremely good neutral. She has Sway Light, she has S1, she has Sway plus assist. Like she already has lots of really good shit in neutral. That's very hard to deal with. She doesn't need to also just like call an assist and then tag and then hold S1 and run in. And she can no longer call assist after doing her counter, which I think makes a lot of sense. And they also made denting blows or S2 faster, which is nice. I like making some of these moves faster so that we just waste less time watching him. The Wick, they're like, he's chilling. I'm curious what they do with this character. I think he has some problems. I think the overhead is like such a rough part of his design. I wish his power was in other places rather than just overhead being the god move and then everything else feeling kind of bad. I think he like probably needs power in another
Sajam fan now
place. And then Yasuo, he didn't get any changes really. So those are the patch notes. Dude, the cosmetic section of this fucking article. I think this Kakashi skin looks fucking cool. This Silverfang skin. She also has Blood Moon skin coming up soon, right? Then Spirit Blossom. I've been like, yo, they need to give Yasuo a 6 skin for a while. He doesn't have really a lot of cool skins. This is a good skin. I think this is like the best patch this game has had, to be honest with you personally. I think the changes to the system are like the kind of shit that everybody's been asking for. I think the character changes are great. I think the last 2 to 3 patches in general have just like put the characters in a much better spot. Diaphone was very unhappy about Vi Illaoi changes. Yeah, I mean, his team was literally taking advantage of the 2 most degenerate things in the patch that they removed. So I could totally see that. If you're shocked that they did the Vi thing, like, I don't know what to tell you. That Vi shit was like so unhealthy for the game. I love this character. She's so fun. I play her a ton in League of Legends. I love her in this game. It could not stay. It's not right. Like, it's just not the way the character should be played. One thing about being a fighting game player that's important is you have to be emotionally, not detached, but like aware of the other people who play the game and like whether the stuff that your character does is okay or not. This is like an example of like the stuff she was doing was just not okay for the other player. A little too one-sided and like not fair for your opponent compared to like the effort it costs. In general, the neutral of the game I think got better because of the changes to tag. Like they've nerfed offense for quite a bit of stuff. So Senna, yeah, I'm not sure when Senna's gonna come. If I had to guess, my guess is like the next character will probably be around June before Evo, right? Because it's like another 2 months from now, basically. Thresh waiting room. I'm not waiting for Thresh. I'm waiting for fucking Aphelios, Set, Graves, Samira. Who else is cool that's not in the game? Gwen. Yeah, Ribbon.